What's up, guys? It is 6:18 and we're gonna be speedrunning some of the best sales available right now. There are just a lot of them, so I won't have time to break each one down individually. If you need more info, go check out the ranking list in the description. Starting off with like the cheaper stuff under 20 bucks. If you're looking for something basic, the 7Hz Arrow, the ND Planet, and the QKZ HBB are all still very good. If you want something cleaner, you got the original 1R SG. I do like this tuning wise more than the 1R2. The 1R2 does have better accessories and a cable, but tuning wise I like this a little bit more. It's better balance overall to me. And you also have the EW100P, which is also a very good clean all-rounder. You also got the Tantrum Zero Ultima 3.5 and DSP. The 3.5 is going to be a little bit more mid-bass centric. The DSP is a bit cleaner and got more variety with DSP, but both of these are stellar when it comes to the value to performance. Same with the Bunny DSP. This is just like a slightly smoother treble version of the Zero Ultima. It's not a huge difference, but this does have the interchangeable cable, so that's like the plus side to this. Like $1 more. Then after that, you got the Tangzu 1R2, very good accessory wise for $18 with the $2 coupon. This is the best accessory and like just tip wise, packaging wise, you're gonna get under 20 bucks. Nothing's gonna beat this right now, and the sound is still pretty good for $18. Very good value for that. And then you also got the Chu 2, of course, the classic for $18. The all-rounder sound. It does have some condensation issues, but it's 18 bucks, right? And it's metal, so overall very good value for the price. And then you also have the gate, Truth Gate, also like 18 bucks. Now I would personally get the ND Planets over these because they're $5 cheaper and they do the same thing, but this is still a pretty solid deal at $23. And then you got the Kanira Wavern. The Ching basically sounds the same, different plating. You're basically buying things off aesthetics at this price because they all sound pretty similar. The only standouts in terms of sound is the Bunny and the Zero Ultimas because they're just like tuned better, but it is not going to be KZ when it comes to value. This is a UDC Pro, a very good V-shape IEM for $583 on sale. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I say that you can't beat KZ when it comes to value. This is $5. And similarly, we also have the KZ Caster Base for something all-rounded but still bassy. $13, even cheaper than the EW100, cheaper than the ND Planet, or is it around the same? But you do get some tuning options with this. So value-wise, KZ, again, hard to beat. Moving down, we got the Tantrum Ola 32. This is a pretty clean vocal set. The design is pretty nice as well. The fit's a bit weird, but this is on sale right now, 32. I would say this is decent. If you want like a neutral, like dead neutral, no bass vocal set, this is decent. And then all the blondes aren't on sale, which is pretty surprising, but they probably will because it's only $614 right now. But keep an eye out for these. If you can get them for around $30, $28, this is pretty good. And then you got the EW200, of course, the classic, $35. If you want something slightly V-shaped, something brighter, very technical for the price, these are still solid. And then you got the Triprawin 0dB, I think that's called Vivus. This is like a mini EW300 for $27. Again, very good for the price. You can't really go wrong. This is another all-rounder kind of set. Also, you got the Q1 Pros. These are a direct upgrade to the original 7Hz Zeros, a cleaner kind of balanced sound, very technical for the price. I would say it's pretty good, pretty great value. Then you got the Kanira Ignite Beast, which is $34. I think this is the cheapest I found them, and this is like a more vocal centric set, very pretty in the plating, slightly better I would say than the Wavern and the other one, the Ching. And then you got the Tangzu Yixuan for $39. The original price around $50, I believe. Airy, unique, more airier sound. The treble peak looks kind of scary on the graph, but it doesn't sound that bad in real life. It's a special sound. The plating looks nice. You also got the Kafine Clean. This is obviously a classic by now, $38. Very good all-rounder, very smooth, slightly warm and bassy. You get a case, so because sometimes you don't get a case at this price. So $38, you know, pretty solid, recommended. The DZ4 is also really good for $40. This is like a cleaner, more neutral, balanced kind of set. It does need some scaling. At mid volume, it can be a bit dark, a bit boring, but give it enough scaling and it's going to sound very good. And then after that, we have the Zenith. So the Zenith actually isn't going on sale, which is kind of surprisingly, but it actually makes sense because the driver that they're using is pretty like decent, a lot better than the other stuff at its price. So 42 is still decent, but not a kind of like a huge sale or anything like that. And then after that, we got the Inawaken Dawn Iems for $42 if you want like a very warm and almost bass head, but I wouldn't quite say bass head, but very warm kind of IEM. The plating is also just very nice. Then after that, we got the EPZ Q5 Pros. This is a slight V-shape, similar to the EW300, 45, pretty solid, decent technical performance. Then after that, we got the Truth Year Reds. Now, I would personally actually just get the Tangent Bunny DSP over this. $50 is quite a bit. I would say this is a maybe. I wouldn't really like straight up just blind buy it at this price, because they're just much better stuff and more unique stuff, like the Rishuenji, the Inawaken Dawn M, the cleans. But the Blue 02s are actually pretty nice with the impedance adapter for 55. I think if you want a budget bass head, these are very good with the ohm adapters. Very fun, very engaging. Stock wise, I would say probably a pass, because they're a little bit shouty to me personally. Now, as for the original Zeros, I would probably pass on these because they are a bit like pricey. I would say you could just get the Blue 02s, much better tune in my opinion. And this is even shoutier than the Blue 2s, and it doesn't have the ohm adapters. So after that, we got the Tantrum for You. That's a very solid all-rounder, a lot of tuning options with the switches. It goes from neutral, like all-rounder, to something warmer. Build quality is solid as well, and very smooth for the sound and for the price. So definitely recommend giving these a shot. Then after that, we got the RDT 10s for around 54. Again, still very solid for the price. Very great technicalities. You get more than what you paid for. So still a very good value for these. Next, we got the F1 Pros for $70, but with the coupons, it's $60. So this is around the same as the T10s, which surprised me because this is like a better build, packaging, accessories, as well as tuning wise. I like this a little bit more than the T10s, and the tech are pretty similar, maybe slightly better on the F1 Pros. So this is very good if you can get this on sale for the price right now for $60. After that, we got the Delcy at 58. This is like a bassy kind of sound. At 58, it's a bit pricey because you can get the blonde, which does kind of the same thing, but this is a bit smoother. The build, you can argue it's a bit better. I think it's around the same, but this is a maybe because it's a bit expensive. Maybe at $30, I would say give these a shot. The May is on sale for 60. I think this is decent for 60, obviously not at 75. That just overpriced, because I mean I would rather get the EW300, which is also on sale for $60. This is just a better tuned, more technical version of the May. The build is also better. The overall sound is better to me as well. So you know what, actually just scratch that. Don't get the May, probably get the EW300. It's just a better set in my opinion. The tray is also decent if you want a warmer, slight V-shaped kind of sound. It's made out of wood. The case is very nice. The cable is very nice. Accessory wise, design wise, very good for the price. And after that, we got the Xuanyu. I think you can find this for cheaper on AliExpress for like 65 maybe. This is a decent set if you want like a neutral, clean, vocal-centric playback. Pretty decent for the price at around 65. Go check out AliExpress. As for the Simga EA500 like OG, this is a bit expensive because you can just get the EW300. It's in my opinion, better than this. So yeah, this is probably a pass for the OG EA500 and the DSP. Of course, we can't forget about the EA500LM. Now, originally this had some issue with the unit variances because some had just a lot of energy in the upper mids and the treble, which made it just too fatiguing. But it should be fine now. The unit that I got was very good. It wasn't overly bright, slightly colored, very technical for the price. Driver is very good, and it's on sale right now for $80. It's not the huge sale, but I mean, it's still very good for the value. Alright, as for the Moondrop Rays, this is overpriced. It should not be $85. This should be the same price as the May. It's the same driver configuration, pretty much the same shell, just like recolored, and it has like a slightly different DSP, which I'm just like whatever, like slightly better for EQ I guess, but it's still a bit expensive at $85. This should be like $60. Then moving up at around $70 on sale, we got the Hexas for a more neutral, clean, balanced kind of sound. This is like a slightly better version of the Sonus. I would say it's not 2 times as good as the Sonus, but it is still decent. It's not as a value champ as when it first came out. But speaking of the Sonus, here it is, $40, kind of like same neutral balanced sound. It is not as technical as the Hexa, but it is also almost 2 times cheaper. So is it worth it to get the Hexa over the Sonus? I don't know. Maybe I would just save up and get something else over the Hexas. There's a lot of better options at around $100. If you want a neutral sound, I still think the Sonus is one of the better ones you can get, especially when it's like $40. Alright, next we got the Moondrop Araya 2 Reds for $80. I think this is decent. Ideally, I want it to be around 60 to 70, but I don't think that's gonna happen with Moondrop. So this is probably the best tuned Moondrop BD in my opinion. It's better than the right at 2, the OG ones. It's better than the Cadence tuning wise. It's better than the Harman tuning wise to me. After that, we got the T10 Pros for $84. Very good for hip hop, metal, rock. Very like warm, kind of smooth sound, airy at the same time. This is like a mini symphonium meter if you guys ever wanted to try the meter but you don't have the money because it's like $500. Get these. These are fairly close to the meters, but for like 1/5 of the price. Now, as for the Defiant at $85, I think this is okay. The main issue with the Defiant is that the QC is not that great. My first unit has a pretty bad channel imbalance. Second unit, the zipper broke in the first few weeks, so you might have to QC flip for this, but you can definitely find like other stuff at around a price of $80, so maybe look around before just blind buying this. Speaking of other stuff at around $80, the Hydro, I would take the Hydro over the Defiant. It's just a much better set. The tuning is like more refined. You get more options with the tuning switches. The bass is better. Overall detail, slight bump. Next, we got the Full Magic one for $90. I seen this go lower to like 80 or 70 even, so keep an eye out for that. Very good for male vocals at this price. You can't really, go wrong with this. Looks nice as well. After that, we got one of my favorites under 100, the Explorer. You can get it for $90. Solid deal if you want something that just scales very well, bassy or relaxing at mid volume, right? Depending on how you're using this. It's just a very solid set. A lot of people like it. You can't really go wrong with these. We also got the Meyer SLE3 at $90 for an all-rounder that's more dynamic, more contrasty. It's not going to be as smooth as the Nova EM6L, but it is more, I guess, like engaging in the overall sound. It's still technical for the price. Now, moving over to Let's Sure, they got the SLA for $90, which I think is a pretty decent deal. At $200, definitely not, but $90 is pretty decent if you want something like a little bit darker, scales a little bit better, but still pretty well balanced overall. Their older planars like the S12 and the S12 Pros are, I would say, okay for the price. Like the F1 Pros, I would say it's tuned better for cheaper at around like $60-$70. This is $95, this is $108, so a little bit more expensive than the F1 Pros. As for the Legato, this is a good bass head. It's still like one of the few bass heads you can get at around 100, so obviously get this if you like a bass head kind of sound. As for the EM6L, this is one of the smoothest IEM that I've heard. Very technical and very good value for the price. Slight V-shaped sound, good all-rounder, and this is on sale right now for $100. It's not a huge sale, but it's already very good value. As for the Aroso, this is a slightly more technical version of the EW300, around the same as the EM6L. 112, I think the EM6L is still cheaper at around $90. This is more dynamic than the EM6L, so I guess depending on your preference, either one will work. After that, we got the Truth Your Nova. Now, this used to be like $100 on sale, which you can't get anymore, unfortunately. But $135 is still pretty decent for an all-rounder sound. Harman 2019, very smooth for the price. If you want an all-rounder, you don't mind Harman, this is pretty good. The plating looks nice, but I will say the fit is a bit big, and there are more unique tuning-wise IEMs at that price as well. So I will look around, but this is still decent. And similarly, the Chopin is also a pretty good deal at $150 if you want an all-rounder sound that's less Harman but still pretty all-rounded. I like this a little bit more than the Novas and the Super Mix 4. As for the Super Mix 4, obviously this is one of the best value IEMs you can get, period. And now it's even cheaper at $135. So no brainer if you want the best tech for performance. Super Mix 4 is a easy recommendation. As for the MP145, this is a very solid planar all-rounder set. You get the tuning switches as well. Build quality is decent, and overall it's just a good fun all-rounder, and now it's even cheaper. As for the Moondrop Condense, this is $180. This should be like $120, $100 in my opinion. This is a bit overpriced like the Harman, which let's see if we can find the Harman. There it is, $297, so it's $50 off. Yeah, Harman's overpriced as hell. Like this should be $200 maximum, $150 ideally. Yeah, definitely not a wreck. Blessing 3 for $287 is actually not bad if you want a very technical set. Kind of bright neutral, it's a bit thin, but this is still a better value than the Harman, which I don't know why this is cheaper than the Harman, but yeah, I don't know what Moondrop is doing. We also got the Aether, which is just a cheaper version of the 5+2. They both do the same thing, both are neutral kind of set with a slight treble tilt. The main difference is that the Aether is like more airy. The 5+2 has like sizzly, sharp treble kind of timbre, which is a bit unnatural to me. And overall, I do like tuning wise, this is better, and it's like $60 cheaper than the 5+2. So I'll just get this if you want like a neutral kind of sound. The CKLVX, this used to be like very good. I still think it's decent, but at $144, this might be a bit much. Maybe at around $100, I would say give it a shot. but 144 is a bit much. Now, I did see the Pula going for 112, and the Pula is basically right here. The Pula is basically the same tuning. It is the same tuning as the CKLVX, but just different plating. So you could get the Pula, but I like the design on the CKLVX better. The Pula is just too bling bling. Next, we got the P50s for 160 on sale, which is even cheaper than 186. So this is a no-brainer at this price. This is probably the best vocal all-rounder on the 200. Very clean, very balanced. It's a more neutral monitor-like kind of sound. A very good reference for what a traditional and balanced vocal should be. So definitely give these a shot if you have the chance and the money. As for the CK2V, this is a better tuned version of the Dunu Brain Damage, also a lot cheaper at 164 on sale. Dunu Brain Damage is like, I think 450 on sale, so like almost 3 times as much, right? And it sounds better, not as artificial, not as bright. So if you want like a neutral bright leaning sound, this would be very good. Then as for the D62s at 188, this is pretty solid. If you don't like the all-rounder Harman sound of the Super Mix 4, the Nova, you want something that's more like dynamic, slightly more bassier, then that's what the D62s are. I recommend you guys listening to this with the Senkai tips. Stock tips are a bit sharp and not refined as the Senkais. So with the Senkais, this is pretty decent at 188. Now moving on to the Lush, you can get these for 150 on sale, which is amazing because this is like one of the best scaling sets under 200, a better version of the full Explorer, more technical, cleaner, less bassy. Just overall, like, still scales very good, but just a slight bump in the tech over the full Explorer. So if you like the Explorer, give these a shot. We also have the KE4s from Kiwi Ears, which is kind of the same but like warmer and a little bit more air versus the Lush. I like the Lush a bit more. I think it's better balanced. The KE4 can come across as a little bit too warm, but if you like that warmer sound, KE4 is pretty solid. Next, we got the Kiwi Ears Quintet, also a very technical set at 186. Now, the Super Mix 4 on sale is like 135, and it's the same tech level as the Quintet. So I don't know how worth it is to get this because they're both kind of like Harman all-rounders. I would probably just get the Super Mix 4. But going back a bit, the Odyssey's on sale for 194. This is a no-brainer. I think this is probably one of the best Iems at $200 right now, and now it's even cheaper. All-rounder, scales great, dynamic, fun bass. It's got it all. Very good set, and now it's 195. So give these a shot if you haven't already. As for the EA1000, this is, I would say, decent at 197. Ideally, I liked it to be closer to 160, 150 maybe, but it is still good if you want like a sparklier, brighter kind of sound, and the overall build accessories are still solid. As for the ET142, this is slightly technical and a better accessory and cable than the EA1000, and it's the same price. You have more tuning nozzles as well. So this is what I mean when the EA1000 should be a little bit cheaper, because the ET142 is a better overall package and it's the same price. Next, we got the Tantrum Origin, the Ziga Deschinkos, and the Cinco Tres. Now, the Origin is a balanced, slightly warm, very smooth kind of playback. At 220, I would say this is decent. This is definitely better than the condensed and the Harman at least. And it's like, I think it's cheaper. Maybe not as cheap as the condensed, but if you're gonna get the condensed or the Harman, get the Origin instead. And if you want like a very mid-bass centric sound, almost bass head kind of level, kind of like low end, get the Deschinkos. Still a very fun and engaging low end kind of set at 230. Pretty decent, like 15% is okay. Same with the Single Tres, very good all-rounder, bassy. It's got that like mid-bass and sub-bass slam, but the vocals aren't like overly shouty, pretty tame, and you get a decent treble extension as well. So this is also a good all-rounder kind of sound. And then Condenser 4 for 200 is good. Airy, sweet female vocals, well balanced. It might be a bit like thin to some people because it doesn't have that much low end, but if you want like a more airy, more clean kind of sound, Condenser 4 is pretty solid. And then you also have the S15 if you want something just dead neutral for 200, also very solid. I can recommend it at this price. Retail, probably not, but 200, I would say you can give this a shot. As for the Septet, this is a more unique kind of sound. It's bright leading, sparkly, airy, and full, and like a little bit warm at the same time. If you're tired of the all-rounders, the Harmans, the bassy stuff, this is a good alternative at around 228. Next, we got the Astros for 250. Very good all-rounder. My benchmark all-rounder set at under $300. It's a vibrant kind of sound, but still well balanced. You get the bass texture, you get the air, you get enough vocals. The balance is there, the detail is there, the technicalities are there. Moving up, we got the software volume mesh at $290. Now this is not a huge discount because this is like what, 30, 20, 40 bucks. It is a good vocal set if you want like a warmer kind of tonality, better for male vocals. It is a very good for scaling, and I do recommend them a lot if you like vocals or if you have a lot of like ballads, indie, or you listen louder. So these are decent at $290, but it's not a huge sale. After that, we got the Hype 2s. This is a more neutral kind of sound, 10% off. It's okay, it's not a huge discount, but if you're already eyeing these and you want like a neutral kind of sound, this is on sale now, and you know, you could give this a shot if you want to. But I would actually just probably get the Aether if you, because it's like $140 on sale, right? As for the Pilgrim, this is a neutral kind of sound at $300, $100 off. That's a pretty good discount. But if you look at the competition around it, P50 neutral 200, 160 sorry, on sale, and then you got the K9s, which is a better all-rounder than the Pilgrim in my opinion. You also got the Canon Pros, which is like this one, oh sorry, not this one, the next one, which is this one, oh sorry, the next one, what the fuck, there we go, the next one, 340 Canon Pros, a little bit more, but if you want like a neutral sound, the Canon Pros would actually be my pick over the Pilgrim. The tuning is a little bit like boring to me. This is like better in the treble, a little bit smoother, also as technical as the Pilgrim. So yeah, Canon Pro K9 P50s. Okay, now we got the T2s. This is a more intimate high volume set compared to the T Pros, which is also $305. So around the same price on sale. This is a high volume set. T Pros are a mid volume set, bassier, has a little bit sharper in imaging, slightly better in the details. But overall, I would say it's like a split. I like the tuning better on the T2s, but overall as in like all-rounder recommendation, I would recommend the T Pros more for most people. So depending on your preference, anyone would work. These are all pretty solid at around 300 bucks. And then moving down, we have the Hype 4 if you want a bassy all-rounder similar to the T Pros. The T Pros, you can get these on sale for around $300 on AliExpress. Slightly cheaper than Linso, but both of these do the same job. Bassy, all-rounded, fun. Next, we got the Zigat Arcanus at $340, so $60 cheaper. Obviously, I'm going to recommend this. This is one of my favorite vocals under 1,000, my favorite under 500. And at retail, I thought it was already very good, so it's even cheaper now. If you love vocals, definitely give these a shot. But speaking of vocals, if you want a better all-rounder, the Studio 4s at $368 is pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's as like unique as the Arcanus, but some people will like the Studio 4s more. So depending on the sound that you're looking for, all-rounder, clean, balanced all-rounder, Studio 4 is still decent. Next, we got the HBB Punch if you want a bass headset for 15% off. This is decent, not a huge discount, but like if you want something cheaper, you can go for the Martellos, also not on sale. But yeah, both of these are gonna work. This is just smoother and a little bit more heavy in the mid bass. Martello slightly more energetic, quicker in the attack, decay, and the low end, but very similar in the sound and technical performance. Both are solid as a quote-unquote endgame bass headset. After that, we got the SimGot EM10. So this is 10% off, $395. I would just get the EPZ K9s, which is $300. They are not on sale, but they do sound better than the EM10 tonality. If you want an all-rounder, this is a little bit more detailed than the K9s, but the K9 just feels smoother, more musical, less like thin, and overall less Harman than the EM10s, and also like $100 cheaper. So there's that as well. Now, before we move over to other sites, let's take a look at the giveaway and bundles. So you got the Luna Top Pros. Oh yeah, Top Pros are on sale as well. I think I missed that. Top Pros are on sale for I think $10, 10% off. Yeah, there we go. $450, so 10% off, $50 off. It's already very good at $500, so now you get $50 more. So it's even better now. Pretty much no-brainer kind of buy for the Top Pros. Meteor, 20% off. Still very overpriced because P50s you can get for $160 on sale now. But yeah, this is definitely overpriced because P50 is just a better tuned version of this. Basically the same technicalities. As for some bundles, the first one we have the 02s, a cable, and the Senkais. Okay, so if you just want the IEM, it's cheaper to just buy the IEM because this is like 23. This is 47 in total. But if you want the tip and the cable at the same time, then yeah, this is okay for that. Next, we got the Aether with the DAC and the tips for around the same price retail, a little bit more than retail. So this is $175 with the DAC. And okay, so again, If you just want the IEM, just get the IEM. It's $144. Bundle C, we have the Odysseys with the DAC and the tips. This is $30, so around the same price as retail. I would just get the Odysseys retail and just get like the tip that you want, because $200, save $30. Not a huge like incentive to buy these two, so I would just probably just get the Odysseys. As for the Valhalla, this is just the retail price of the Valhalla, but you get a better case on top. So bundle wise, I would say it's kind of mid to disappointing. It's not the best, not the worst. As for the mystery boxes, we have the Dolce DeFi digital. I don't even know what this is. $15. This is okay. Again, I would rather just buy like a standalone IEM of my choice than coin flipping these three mid. I mean, they're not like, yeah, they are mid actually. Yeah, no, probably not. Mystery box B, I don't even know what this is. This is like Truly Wireless, I think. I mean, $20 for Truly Wireless is pretty good, so I don't know. I haven't heard it yet, so I can't say much. As for Mystery Box C, you got these Singolos for $30. Yikes, bro. You got the Kailua, the Rumbus. This is okay. This is okay, I would say, because Kailua is pretty decent for 30. So this is decent. This is whatever. This is, I have no idea because I haven't listened to the Truly Wireless. But I think that's pretty much it. They also have the Monarch Mark 4s and the Luna, the LTT coming out, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Moving up to $500, we got the Mega 5 EST7. This is a pretty solid all-rounder. The first unit I heard was a bit mid because the low-end texture wasn't there. The treble was also like a bit too smooth. The second one I heard was like just right, very well balanced. And at $472, I would say it's pretty decent sales, like almost $100 off. The main issue is that I don't know which unit you're gonna get. Is it gonna be the boring one or the better tuned one? So I don't know, but if you get the right one, it is pretty decent. However, I would actually get the original Oracles because with the coupons, it's also around $500. It's a better tuned set to me, at least vocal wise. It's just cleaner and more balanced. The Mega 5 is a better all-rounder in general. It has a little bit more bass, a little more treble overall. But if you're looking for a more vocal-centric set, the OG Oracle still holds up even now, and you can get it for like $500. But speaking of $500, the Iowa Lair is on sale for around $510, which is very good. This punches way above the price for $500. The ESTs alone you get, it makes it worth the money at $500. And the overall sound is balanced, natural, airy, smooth. It's a very good all-rounder, and depending on the tip you use, you can get a little bit more like airiness and detail out of it. So yeah, definitely give these a shot if you want an airy all-rounder for around $500. After that, we got the Sophia Studio 5, one of my favorite vocals period. It's almost $200 off, which is pretty nuts. $550 for this, definitely an easy recommendation. Powerful, extended, one of the best, actually probably the best male vocals that I have heard yet, and it still holds up even now, and now it's even cheaper at $550. So similarly, the Twilight is also very good for male vocals. It's a little bit more like pushback, less forward, but still well balanced, and it's almost $200 off at $744. The vents help the staging a tiny bit. It helps like the reverb a little bit, and overall this is like what you should do for a single DD, because the Moondrop Illustrious is also around $700, but it's just like a DD with a regular vent, nothing special, and it's like overpriced at $700. This I could see people buying. The Illustrious, probably not. Even then, I would probably say this is a maybe, because for a single DD it is very expensive, $744, right? But it is on sale right now. If you like single DDs, this is pretty solid. After that, we got the Lecture Mystic 8 on sale at $880. This is very surprising. I didn't expect it to go on sale, but it is one of the best female vocals, like period, like probably the best under 2000 before the Condenser 12 and the Summit 5 stuff. But yeah, this is better than Diva. $880. This is a no-brainer. It's cheaper than the Diva as well. Probably better QC as well, but just cheaper and just like better. And yeah, get these if you love female vocals. After that, we got the Mez Mark IIs. Very good end game for metal, rock, etc. Good staging, good detail, good imaging, good separation. The upper mids are pulled back so it's not in your face, doesn't get shouty from metal and rock. And this is $900 right now, new. So yeah, very good for the price. As for the Condenser 12, this is one of the better end game flagship IEMs. You don't really need anything past this. It's just like they're just overcharging you at that point. 2000 is the maximum I would pay, and this is very technical, slightly bright leaning, but very airy, very detailed for the sound, for the price. And yeah, if you have the cash, definitely give these a shot because they're pretty nice. And then lastly, we got the Canera Verdandi, very clean, balanced, vocal-centric kind of set. Extensions there in the treble. You get enough of the low end as well, but you're buying this for the clean vocal presentation, and the design, because look at it. It's just a very beautiful design. And right now it's on sale for around 20% off, which is a pretty good deal. Like black also looks super cool. But aside from that, that's pretty much it. My throat is dead. I hope this guide was helpful. We got the giveaway and Q&A video coming up next week. Stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see everyone in the next one.
Shout out to Roark's Cat, Dom Q, The Skull Goddess, B. Urak, Mystic Spoon Attack, Walker Standard, User, Patrick, Polly J, Mr. Gabrielas, Giseng Young, Christopher Jackson, Henry Claudia, Son of a Horse, Obi, Wizard, Frickalicious, Ricardo, Tapas Art, Shin Bakle, Choconorse, FKSRG, Treble Will Extended, Cousin Fat Fat, O'Reilly, Julius, Dead Riddle, Billha, Tomat, Ardmore, 777ZK, Jasper, Nicholas, Gerbliss, Parham, Contain Guava Juice Gains, Addy, Brandon, Syracuse, Wayu, Harder, Michael, Jacob, and Danner. Thank you guys so much.